going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all. Who's ready for a beer? I'm ready for a beer. What's up, Kentucky? What's up, Lee? Duchess? What's up? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are ready for a beer. I know I am. Hey, I got some chores around the house done this morning. Mowed the lawn. Did that. So, what's usually good after mowing the lawn? A nice cold beer. So it works out perfectly. Works out perfect. What's up, Lethal? How you doing? Well, 3 o'clock, guys. So, you know what that means. Let's do this. Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. And today, we got another one from Deciduous Brewing Company. If you guys remember back like maybe 2 weeks ago, I did the Imperial Lollipop Forest. So, when I was doing that review, I kind of explained that I got the 2 other versions of the Lollipop Forest as well. So they have the double, like the Imperial Lollipop Forest, which I already did, and then they have the regular Lollipop Forest and the double Lollipop Forest. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at the double Lollipop Forest, and just you can see the kind of difference in the can already, where the other one was like gold and white kind of situation, but this one's like black, gold, and white. So I'm actually really liking this colorway when it comes to this one. It just looks a lot cleaner to me. And this guy comes out at a whopping 6.6% ABV, and it's fruited sour with milk sugar, and it's brewed with blackberries, blackcurrant, and raspberry. So, from what I can recall from the first time I did the review on the first one, the Imperial Lollipop Forest, actually, now that I think about it, I think the Lollipop Forest I did, the Imperial, was a red label, if I remember correctly now. It was more like that kind of reddish, kind of purplish kind of color. But this one is the black, gold, and white, which I really like. So, if I remember correctly on the first one, it was a little bit too, like, much on the wine kind of flavors for me, so I'm curious if with this kind of being a lower ABV, if the fruit flavor is going to come out a little bit more, if it's going to be more towards the fruited sour realm for me, if I'm not getting like crazy wine flavors when it comes to the berries that are being used. But before we get into that and crack that open, let's talk about Deciduous really quick. I've talked about them before. They're just a nice microbrewery out of Newmarket, New Hampshire. Their website's pretty simple and straightforward. They really don't have much of anything when it comes to explaining like their story or kind of what they're all about. But they have a Square site, so pretty much you can go on pretty much their website and pick up stuff from curbside pickup. So they have a bunch of stuff available right now. They have some Pilsners. It looks like they have a nice Belgian style assassin ale. Some more fruited sours. Let's see if they have any of the... So they have the Imperial Lollipop Forest available, if you're interested in that, if you're in that area. But they have a bunch of stuff. You can get glassware, all that kind of stuff, stickers, hats, you name it. So most of the stuff you're going to be able to find from them is either going to be curbside pickup or the way I purchased their stuff, which was getting it off Tavour, which Tavour I've already talked about plenty of times already. I'll kind of give a quick iteration at the end of the review, but without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what this guy's all about. See if there's any different from the Imperial. I'm curious. So, just being safe. When I open a fruited sour kind of situation, I always open it over a towel. But yeah, still getting that strong like raspberry note in there. That definitely like a blackcurrant tartness coming through. So yeah, definitely still getting those like kind of wine smells though. Like kind of like, I don't want to say like a wine cooler kind of smell, because I don't know, really not that big of a wine drinker myself. But definitely having those like fermented berry kind of notes, or maybe like a tart cherry kind of. Well, I don't think there's cherry in here, but definitely the strong tart notes are coming through. But yeah, let's pour this guy out and see what we're looking at. Maybe with the milk sugar, it'll kind of give it more of a balanced sweetness, I'm hoping. But yeah, let's give this guy a shot. Oh yeah, the colors in there still look absolutely fantastic. Not as like kind of creamy as I thought it would be. Definitely still has that bright red color to that, almost to where it's like deep purplish kind of situation. But yeah, that looks delicious. So still getting a lot of those kind of wine kind of smells on there. Yeah, let's give this guy a try. So cheers everybody. Happy Saturday. Yeah, still getting a lot of those like kind of like wine flavors that I'm used to getting. Like it's definitely has that more of like a drier kind of effervescent mouthfeel. There's a slight sweetness in there, but not much. It's not really that tart either to me. I'm giving that maybe like, I'll give this like a 2 out of 5 when it comes to actual like berry tartness. But those kind of like reminiscent of like, I don't want to say wine cooler kind of taste, but it's like that tart berry kind of situation still sticks with you on this one. I kind of wish that it was still a little bit sweeter, or like more of like a natural kind of flavor of a berry. I know this is definitely not like the Imperial, just because it's not as tart, it's not as boozy, but definitely has that same kind of reminiscence of it kind of having those wine kind of reminding feelings of like with like the effervescent, bubbly, dry mouth feel. Not really comes to like, it's not really thick at all. The moon sugar adds a slight sweetness to it, but it's overall, I don't want to say it's the same as the Imperial, but I can definitely already tell differences of it, just because the ABV is around like, I think it's 2% less than what it was in the Imperial. I think the Imperial is like at 8.6%. But yeah, it's not bad at all. So let's see what the actual description of this guy is. So to start, crack into the double Lollipop Forest, which is packed to the brim with jammy blueberry, raspberries, and black currants. And of course, you can't leave out the milk sugar, which is kind of supposed to add like a creamy kind of texture to it and situation like that. But it's supremely juicy, soft as your favorite pair of PJs, and fans like Mark P will tell you, in a world of sweet, thick smoothies, this is a beacon of fruity, dry tartness. So yeah, so it's kind of explaining to you, this is what the big popular thing when it comes to fruited sours right now is having like a sweet, thick kind of fruited sour kind of range, where they kind of took a different direction of kind of having like a a drier, fruitier mouthfeel and flavor. And when it comes to trying to nail that, they nailed it on the head, 100%. Definitely took a different approach when it comes to the fruited sour kind of realm. Actually, the more I think I might change my tartness on it. Now that I drink it a little bit more, I can definitely feel it under the eyes, where it's like your nose is starting to scrunch up. You can feel it in your jowls. So I think I'd probably give this like a 3.5, almost like a 3.75 when it comes to tartness. Definitely getting a lot more tartness coming out of it now. But the flavors in there are not bad. Not bad at all. Definitely getting the tart from the blackcurrant in there. I would like to see a little bit more of like a jammy kind of blueberry note in there, to where, I don't know, when I think of like a jammy blueberry, I want like a blueberry compost kind of, a compote, whatever you want. Compote, I don't know. English isn't the greatest, but that's okay. But you know what I mean, that kind of sugary kind of blueberry situation, to where it's like kind of like almost a glaze that you would like put on top of like a cheesecake situation. But overall, the flavors are still pretty good. Definitely a refreshing drink when it comes to if you're working outside for maybe like a half hour, an hour, and you want something nice, crisp, and refreshing. Like how people really enjoy wine. I could see this being one you enjoy. If you're a wine drinker, this I can definitely see. If you want to get into beer, this would be the one that I think I would suggest out of any kind of fruited sour, because the similarities to me when it comes to drinking wine are very, very similar to this one. Obviously, the ABV is going to be a little bit less, but yeah, definitely still gives me those wine kind of flavors in it. So let's see what this guy is, what kind of the stuff they have to say about Untapped with this guy. So like I said before, double lollipop forest with blackcurrant, blueberry, and raspberry. Comes out at a whopping 6.6%, and with over 889 ratings on Untapped, this guy has an average rating of 4.32. So for people that are trying this one, they really like it. So it definitely has some high ratings on Untapped, so a lot of people are big fans of this one. So let's see, somebody gave it a 4.5, 4.25, 4, 4.25, 4.5. Let's see, 4.25 saying it was bomb. Let's see, another 4, 3.75, 3.75, 4.75. What's this one? Their can looks a little bit different than mine. Interesting. I'm looking at one on Untapped. Their can art's kind of like a darkish blue with like the kind of silver and then kind of like a red kind of dots on it instead of the black, gold, and the white. So that's interesting. So let's see. Son of the Purchase out Tavor 3.75 saying good berry flavor. I agree with that. The berry flavors are nice. I would have liked them to be a little bit more sweeter. I guess it's because I've come accustomed to this different smoothie style of a fruited sour that's kind of become such a popular thing as of lately, when you're still getting a lot of those more decadent, fruitier notes from the beer itself or from the actual fruits they're using in the beer. When this one, you're getting the dry fruit kind of situation where it's like, it's not like a dry fruit taste, but you get the fruit flavors. They're going to be predominantly tart, but then you kind of get that dry wine mouthfeel with it, which is, it's different. I got to admit, I give them props for being different when it comes to making a different kind of fruited sour, when the world is so saturated right now when it comes to the smoothie kind of sour realm. They're kind of taking it upon their own to kind of stick to what they enjoy more than just kind of going with the trend of everybody doing a smoothie sour, which I respect. If you want to stick to something and if you like something more than what's really trendy around the country, yeah, stick to what you like. You'll always find people that will enjoy it. But let's see. Let's start getting down to final ratings here. So, can art. I actually like this can art a lot better than on the Imperial, just because the colors are I really enjoy the black, gold, and white kind of situation more than like the rainbow, purple, pinkish kind of label that was on the Imperial. This one just seems a lot more cleaner to me. And of course, the Deciduous kind of thing on the side is always really classy. I really enjoy that. But having that black and gold and the white would definitely be something that would kind of pop out to me a little bit more at a liquor store or a bottle shop for sure. So I'd give this like a solid 4.25, almost a 4.5 out of 5 with the can art. Really, really nice. So let's pour some more back in the glass. And let's see. If I got this in a flight at Deciduous, would I get another one? To be honest, I probably wouldn't. I enjoy the flavors I'm getting. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the reminiscence of the wine kind of flavors that I get out of this one, but I'm not against it as well. I would prefer to go to the more like the smoothie kind of sour rum because that's kind of what I enjoy more. But the berry flavors they're using in this are really nice. I would have liked to see a little bit more sweetness from the moon sugar to be used. I think adding a little bit of lactose in here would have kind of created a nice, more of like creaminess kind of element. So I would have liked to seen it a little bit thicker, but I can definitely see what they were trying to go for when it comes to like those dry fruit notes, where it's like that drier mouthfeel. So they're trying to get more of the effervescence kind of coming at you instead of just like thick, syrupy, heavy kind of fruited sour that a lot of us are pretty accustomed to by now. When it comes to Kentucky's had a bunch of them that are thick and heavy and pours like a smoothie and just all that kind of craziness. When this is like crisp, clean, really no kind of sediment in there or heaviness or thickness in the beer itself. But yeah, I really like the color of this one as well. It definitely has a very nice deep red / almost purple kind of color to it. So I really enjoy that. But yeah, the flavors are nice. It's just probably not the kind of fruited sour that I would kind of go out of my way to search for. I would go and search for more of the kind of the smoothie style when it comes to it. So I probably wouldn't get another one of this if Deciduous had like an IPA or something or let's say a Belgian style beer that I got in the flight as well. I'd probably gravitate towards getting one of those before I would get an extra glass of this if I got a flight. But overall, I'm enjoying the flavors. It's just, it may not be the specific kind of fruited sour that's for me, but it's still good for what it is. So, what is my final rating on this guy going to be? I mean, just because the style that they created with this one doesn't mean that it's not good. So, I'm probably going to give it a still pretty good rating for what it is, because what they were trying to set out to do when it comes to the style and how this thing's supposed to taste, they knocked it out of the park when it comes to dry mouthfeel, tart fruit flavors, tart berry flavors, and they absolutely nailed it with this one. So I think I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. If you're into the more tart, drier mouthfeel along with more tart berry flavors, that kind of give you reminiscence of wine or like a wine cooler situation, this probably would be the one for you, to be honest. If you want to try out more of like the smoothies, or if you're enjoying more in the smoothie side of things, you might be a little bit hesitant on this one, where you wouldn't be sure how completely you feel. Let's just say if you gravitate more towards the smoothie sour or the kind of heavier kind of ones, you might feel a little bit off drinking this one, just because a lot of those notes that you would recognize from drinking that kind of beer, you're not going to get in this one. I mean, you're still going to get tart berry flavors, but when it comes to there being more of a sweetness element or more of that heavier mouthfeel, you're not going to get that with this one at all. But overall, they still did a fantastic job for what they were setting out to do with this. So big props to Deciduous for kind of going against the grain when it comes to what's popular when it comes to the fruited sour realm, and creating something that they think to them is better than what has really kind of saturated the market right now. So, pretty solid. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. 7 out of 10. Really good. If I would say it's more if you're into like a wine drinker. I'm telling you, if you have a friend that's a wine drinker, give them this. They would find so many similar notes to it, and they probably would enjoy drinking this, to be honest. But other than that is what I got for you guys this afternoon. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you're new to the channel and you're watching for the first time, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my stuff. And if you're like what you see, make sure that subscribe button along with that notification bell. Let you know whenever I go live doing another review. Also, if you want to shoot me a friend request on Untappd, if you're a craft beer drinker right now and you're not using Untappd, what are you doing? Just go over there, download the app, and create an account. It's fun. You can get people like me, Duchess, Kentucky on there. The link to my Untappd profile is down in the description below as well. Also, if you're looking to if you're in the New Market area, and if you want to pick some stuff up from Deciduous, you can also find the link to their Square site down in the description. So if you want to go over there, pick up some stuff and try it yourself, you're more than welcome to. Let me know what you guys think of their stuff, kind of want to see what the inside of their brewery looks like too as well. So other than that, that's pretty much it, everybody. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Tomorrow, when it comes to doing a review, it might be a little bit later in the day due to it being Mother's Day. I'm going to try to spend time with my mother as much as possible tomorrow. So we're going to try to go out for an early dinner because she wants to beat the rush of everybody going out to dinner. So I might have a review later in the day. So I would say maybe around like the 6:30 kind of realm. So keep an eye out for that. I'll have a post on Instagram kind of giving you guys a time frame of when the review would be going up or when I'd be going live. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So guys, thank you again for tuning in. Big shout outs to Deciduous for coming out with this one. I think it's a pretty cool thing that they did where they kind of going against the grain of what your typical fruited sour is going to be like. And they created a whole new experience on their own. Even though it may not 100% be for me, just because of what I like, doesn't mean it's not good, and they knocked it out of the park for what they were trying to do. So big props to Deciduous with this one. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to say it like I always do. Thank you again. And if you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday.